not just gonna stand here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone all by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Good morning, everybody. Parsons, how do you know if you like it yet? It's the news. Everybody loves the news. In fact, you don't just like it, you love it. You love it. And, okay, Rose, you better go get your kid out of voice chat. I knew he was up to something, that Dexter. Oh, good Lord, he is. He's over in, He's over in Becca's in voice chat, apparently. And no, don't leave my room to go talk to Dexter over in voice chat. We need every subscriber here if we can, please. Anyway, yesterday we kind of needed a day off, and I did not take a day off. Instead, I ended up doing some redesign work for the website that sort of started a ball rolling, and now we have all these new things with the website. I mean, nothing major. It's just the way we're presenting art has changed completely, and it carries over into today's videos as we're using the art from the website instead of the old art on all the new stories. So things have slightly changed. I usually roll this stuff out on Sundays, but I was tired today. I recorded eight articles for this broadcast covering yesterday and today, and somehow I don't have more than 18 minutes worth of news for you. So tomorrow we'll hopefully do a little bit better, as we've got breaking Regan Benson news. She is claiming that she's going to be victorious in a couple of lawsuits that's going to get her some big money. We also have Chile de Castro news, as he done screwed up, and Michael Mee's got a reply for him to the LVMPD's motion for summary judgment, and Chile in general from his 4th of July calling for the Supreme Court to have elections again. It's just... For everyone over in Becca's voice chat, or someone over there and over here, hey, tell them to come on over here, because we need every viewer we can. Anyway, we're going to dive into yesterday's news, and then we'll dive into today's news. And we'll have some fun with that.
GoFundMe, what happens when you F up? There were no winners in the GoFundMe campaigns on Wednesday, as our own campaign again took the day with a $10 donation. All eyes, however, shifted to Give, Send, Go, as a major campaign was apparently shut down. Reports indicate that Aidan Turtleboy Kearney's Give, Send, Go campaign to solicit funds for his legal defense reached $131,895 out of a goal of $200,000 before being shut down after accusations that Kearney was running a raffle to solicit donations to the campaign. A similar campaign run by Kearney's girlfriend, Meredith O'Neill, on Venmo was also reportedly shuttered, as she was also running raffles in order to solicit donations. What does any of this mean? It means that both Turtleboy Kearney and O'Neill's current campaigns are suspended from taking in donations while they're reviewed by their platforms. Anyone who donated to the campaigns will not get an automatic refund if the campaigns are shut down, as specified by the terms of service of most of the crowdfunding platforms. The money is more than likely forever gone to anyone wanting a refund, again, as the platforms are set up to protect themselves from having to repay when someone uses their services fraudulently. GoFundMe, for example, did not get involved in the case of a New Jersey couple in 2017 who raised $400,000 on behalf of a homeless man who supposedly gave his last $20 to help the girlfriend when she was stranded at a gas station. The couple raised the money, but then made headlines when they refused to give the money to the man after they accused him of squandering money on drugs while using the money to allegedly purchase a BMW and other extravagant trips and casino outings. It was later revealed that the story was a hoax and that the couple made up the story of the girlfriend being stranded and convinced a homeless man to go along with the story. The couple were later found guilty of a federal money laundering scheme and sentenced to prison. A criminal complaint may be filed against Kearney or O'Neill, as they may have violated the guidelines for holding raffles in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Under Commonwealth laws, only certain organizations can run raffles, and for-profit entities or individuals cannot run raffles for themselves. If charges are pressed and either is found guilty, Kearney and O'Neill may face jail time, but there's no guarantee that those that donated to either campaign will ever see a refund unless mandated by the state. As always, if you'd like to keep us reporting news stories every day, we do have a GoFundMe of our own located in the scroll below. All proceeds would go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing news stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. Josh Abrams shows how to audit. Controversial YouTuber Josh Accountability for All Abrams showed how to make something from nothing this week as he released an auditing video from Grafton, Vermont. Abrams was in Grafton, a town of 645 people, to audit their town offices and was accompanied by another auditor as he was approaching the building. The YouTuber noticed that the town offices shared the same building as the Grafton post office and said that he normally didn't do post offices, but assured his fans that he really needed to buy a single stamp. Abrams and his friend entered the town offices and encountered a woman sitting at a desk. She explained that her co-worker had just stepped out and it was just the two of them working on the day of the filming. The woman offered little resistance or value to Abrams's video, as she was overly nice and helpful and did not protest when Abrams filmed the office around her and the adjoining office. Abrams quickly exited from the building and into the post office, where two customers were conversing with the single female postal employee. The male customer immediately left when he noticed Abrams was filming, and the female customer tried to say that it was illegal to film within a federal building. The post office worker corrected her and said it was legal, but she preferred not to be filmed. Abrams explained that there was no expectation of privacy in public and purchased his stamp. When his engagement with the postal worker failed to get what he wanted, he decided to follow the female customer out to her car. On the way out of the building, he remarked that he couldn't find poster 7 to prove he had the right to film, but his friend found it. Abrams then recited that journalists could film in the lobby, but left out the second half that they must obtain permission to do so before completely exiting the building. Abrams went to confront the female customer, who changed her tune and said she was simply joking as she tried to get in her car and escape Abrams's camera. He filmed her license plate for some reason as she drove away, then turned his attention to the male customer. The male customer contended that depending on what Abrams was doing with the video, he, as a 30-year journalist, knew that he could possibly sue Abrams for using his image for commercial purposes without permission. Abrams attempted to escalate the situation, giving the man attitude that he didn't need consent as the man was in public and only those filming for commercial profit that were disseminating copywritten material could be sued. The man, no longer playing along, rolled up his car window and pulled away, leaving Abrams to run back inside to the Grafton town offices to exclaim to the woman working there that he was being sued for filming. When the woman didn't give him a reaction to keep the outrage going, he then went outside and finished the video with 4 minutes of banter with his friend. Abrams, of course, then edited together his fairly boring day in Grafton and uploaded the video with the shocking headline, "He's suing me for freedom!" It's had 22,000 views as of press time. Paul OKeefe speaks out. John O'Keefe's younger brother Paul spoke about the aftermath of the mistrial in the Karen Reed murder case in a new interview with CBS Boston. Karen Reed had been on trial for the murder of John O'Keefe in the early morning hours of January 29, 2022, when she allegedly hit O'Keefe with her car after a drunken argument. Her trial for murder ended earlier this week with a hung jury after the jury could not come to a unanimous decision. The younger O'Keefe was present nearly every day of the trial, sitting facing the camera with his family members and sitting within feet of Reed. Paul O'Keefe said in the interview that Reed wanted the smaller courtroom and implied that the closeness was used to her advantage as she taunted O'Keefe and his family members. Paul O'Keefe said that she would smirk at him during the trial, apparently trying to provoke a response, and when she was celebrating the hung jury, he took advantage of the closeness of the room to remind her that this was not over and the state had vowed to retry the case. When asked about the surreal situation where Reed embarked on a social media campaign to claim that her side was standing for justice for John O'Keefe, Paul O'Keefe agreed that it was surreal and that his family had been portrayed as villains in the saga. Reed has embarked on a social media campaign to attempt to convince people that she was innocent of John O'Keefe's murder and that members of the Albert and McCabe families conspired with Brian Higgins to murder John O'Keefe and leave him to die in the front lawn of Brian Albert's home. Large crowds appeared as the trial progressed due to the media campaign, and Paul O'Keefe confirmed that the crowd would taunt and abuse his family as they entered and exited the courthouse every day. O'Keefe also questioned why the acting United States Attorney for the District of Massachusetts, Josh Levy, would open a federal investigation into the murder of his brother based on evidence solely provided by Karen Reed's team. He said he'd like to have a chat with Levy over the situation, as there were no answers provided to the family by Levy at this time. Levy's investigation apparently concluded earlier this year. Higgins and the Albert and McCabe families were all told that they were not suspects of any crimes as the investigation concluded. In response to Paul O'Keefe's interview, Aidan Turtleboy Kearney claimed that O'Keefe humiliated himself in the interview and that Kearney was embarrassed for him in a tweet that followed the interview. Kearney had been working for Reed's PR campaign until being relieved of his duties after being indicted for multiple felony counts of witness intimidation. Flashback, July 4th, 2023. Castro says stick fingers in gunshot wounds. Viewers of Jose Chile de Castro's Monday night livestream saw his continued ignorance of basic medical treatment as he featured a video of an officer-involved shooting in Kentucky in June and criticized police for not letting the victim's girlfriend stick her fingers in the holes to render aid to her boyfriend. According to police accounts, Mark Jaggers Jr. approached an unmarked police vehicle that was involved in an unrelated surveillance operation when he was confronted and ultimately shot by police. Jaggers stated, "I wasn't going to rob you," after being shot and falling to the ground. Police rendered aid on scene before transporting Jaggers to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead. Jaggers' family lawyer has disputed police accounts, making a series of statements that were picked up by press outlets over the weekend. Attorney Aubrey Williams claimed that Jaggers was simply investigating a mysterious car on his property and criticized police for allegedly omitting key parts of the body cam footage shot on scene. Castro featured body cam footage of the incident during his Monday night live stream, assuring his viewers that police intentionally kept Jaggers' girlfriend from saving his life. He claimed that blood was like a video game life bar, and once it ran out, it would result in death. The YouTuber continued to make his claim that Jaggers' life could have been saved if police did not remove Jaggers' girlfriend from the scene and allowed her to plug his wounds with her fingers instead of waiting for emergency medical services to arrive on scene and render proper aid. In a continuation of his recent attempts to interpret crime scene footage in order to match his theories of cases, Castro slowed down the body cam footage as he interpreted what he was seeing. In this case, Castro ignored the image of Jaggers holding a gun in the footage and asserted that police edited body cam footage as the officer exited the car and approached Jaggers on the ground. The YouTuber placed a phone call to the Kentucky State Police headquarters, reaching a confused security guard who referred him to call back during normal working hours, when Castro loudly complained about missing frames from the Jaggers video. Castro then attempted to contact multiple news stations in Kentucky and became frustrated that the outlets were closed at 11 p.m. Eastern on the evening before the July 4th holiday. The YouTuber ended his live stream by criticizing former Broward County Deputy Scott Peterson, who was recently acquitted of not doing enough to help stop the Parkland school shooter in 2018. Castro equated acting to enter an active shooting with the risk one takes when they kiss a girl for the first or second or third time. Castro is expected to livestream late Tuesday in celebration of the July 4th holiday. GoFundMe Holiday Goose Eggs. Our own campaign took the day with a $25 donation, as all the other campaigns, including large campaigns run by Sean Paul, Long Island Audits Riaz, Jose Chile de Castro, and then Selmo Auditing America Morales, aka Selmo, drew blanks for the day. Selmo opened his campaign late last month to help fund his supposed trip across America in order to clear his name from illegal criminal charges against him. Roughly $475 was raised in the initial launch before it hit a wall of goose eggs and has been sitting at that amount for a while now. This morning's check of the account finds a notice stating, "This fundraiser is no longer accepting donations. If you are the organizer, beneficiary, team member, or donor, sign in to see additional information." A quick sign-in to GoFundMe has an update on the account stating, "This fundraiser has been deactivated by the organizer." The fundraiser recently seems to have changed from a fundraiser run by Selmo on his own behalf to one he's running on behalf of Valentina Marchand. Its last donation of $50 was made 9 days ago. Curiously, all recent videos on his Auditing America channel, including the video in which he announced that he was shutting down further videos until his name was cleared, have been removed. The most recent video was from his trip to Hawaii and was posted 5 months ago. There are no updates on his YouTube community page or anywhere else as to what is going on with either the GoFundMe campaign or his quest to get justice for his supposed illegal arrests across the country. Selmo is known primarily for taking on audits at post offices, airports, and Department of Motor Vehicle facilities. Over the past year, he has toured outside of his home state of Florida and has featured audits in Arizona, Texas, Alaska, and Hawaii. He was known for his brash style, but he has changed over the years and is taking a more respectful approach towards police officers in recent audits as they tend to uphold his rights to film in public. We will continue to monitor his page for updates and provide them as they come in. As always, if you'd like to keep us reporting new stories every day, we do have a GoFundMe of our own located in the scroll below. All proceeds go to keep the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. More fallout from the Karen Read trial. Situations continue to play out in Massachusetts following the mistrial in the Karen Read murder case earlier in the week. As previously reported, Aidan Turtleboy Kearney had his Give, Send, Go campaign at least temporarily suspended over allegations that he was running an illegal raffle in order to encourage donations to the campaign. The campaign had raised $131,895 out of a goal of $200,000 when it was suspended. Kearney also lost his mother, Mary Mullaney, sometime last month. The YouTuber was at his parents' house for the last week following her death from pancreatic cancer. Mullaney was in the news for writing a letter to the judge in Kearney's felony witness intimidation case, urging him not to put her son in jail as he was helping her with the battle with cancer. In more Kearney-related news, he continues to blame Kate Peter and his ex-girlfriend, Lindsay Gaetini, for the murder of a turtle that he claims he found lynched outside of his parents' house earlier in the week. Despite Peter showing her GPS coordinates from the past month on her Twitter page that showed she was nowhere near his parents' house, Kearney and his supporters still blame the YouTuber for the incident. Kearney has a long history of staging incidents in order to get public support. Peter herself broke news this week as she confirmed initial reports from Grant Smith Ellis and others that the jury was deadlocked at a guilty verdict 10-2 on the lesser two charges in the Karen Read case. 2 jurors were holding out against any jail time at all. She also reported that Karen Reed's defense attorney, Alan Jackson, would not be returning when the state retries the case. Jackson himself has been getting unwanted attention since photos surfaced of him and Reed in an intimate embrace. Jackson and Reed's intimate embrace made TMZ headlines, as those close to Jackson tried to play down the photo and say it was innocent. It was also claimed that he performed the same embrace with David Yannetti minutes before the embrace of Reed. Kate Peter also reported that the defense will be dropping the accusations that the Albert and McCabe families killed victim John OKeefe in the retrial, and will instead focus on the theory that Michael Proctor framed Reed for the murder. Payne confronts abortion protesters. Jeremiah Payne's recent encounter with pro-choice protesters in downtown Nashville, Tennessee, turned into a police incident as Payne verbally abused the protesters and turned on his fellow counter-protesters in the process. Payne and wife Samantha were walking in downtown Nashville when he spotted 3 people holding up pro-choice signs who were being interviewed by someone with a camera. The YouTuber interrupted the interview and, along with another man, began to question their beliefs. One of the protesters immediately left, to be mocked by Payne as she walked off, and the other 2 were confronted with the other man's belief that babies could be aborted after they had been born in the state of California. Egged on by the presence of the other man, Payne began to curse at the protesters' belief that abortion should be allowed if the life of the mother was on the line. Payne, along with wife Samantha, countered that the mother should be sacrificed as the baby was more important and the mother had a full life, and now it was the turn of the baby to live. As Payne began to insult and use profanity at the protesters, the second man asked him not to use foul language around the baby he was holding. Payne refused to apologize and doubled down, stating that the protesters were horrible people and hoped that they did not have children. He then said that the protesters should go home and murder their children, as they didn't believe in life, and their children would be better off dead. After a jump cut, 5 Nashville police officers were on the scene, attempting to de-escalate the situation. Payne again got in the face of the other counter-protester, as the man attempted to explain that the police were peaceful and there to help everyone. Payne began to scream at the officers that he couldn't be charged with disturbing the peace if no one reported him and if there wasn't a complaintiff. He continued to shout at the police as the video ended. His video has been seen 966 times as of press time. Flashback July 5th, 2023. DMA strikes frauditor trolls main channel. Continuing the summer of copyright strikes by First Amendment auditors, Christopher Denver Metro Audits Cordova reportedly hit Frauditor Troll with 8 copyright strikes, which resulted in an immediate suspension of Frauditor Troll's main channel. Frauditor Troll was tipped off as Josh Accountability for All Abrams mentioned the coming strikes by DMA in a series of emails on Sunday, as Abrams had issued his own strikes against Frauditor Roundup and Blackheart Night, and declined to appear on Frauditor Troll's July 4th livestream to discuss his actions. DMA strikes apparently hit by mid-afternoon on Wednesday, as Frauditor Troll canceled his livestream on his main channel and instead quickly went live on his Frauditor Troll Classics channel to discuss the copyright strikes and what he would do next to fight them. Frauditor Troll indicated that he had already filed counter-DMCA notices to fight the strikes and wondered aloud about his legal options to fight DMA's actions, reasoning that DMA would not go ahead with the federal lawsuits required to uphold his copyright strikes. Frauditor Troll considered taking DMA to small claims court in Colorado to recoup lost wages for the time his main site will be down. Ezekiel Jenkins of the Frauditor Follies YouTube channel joined Frauditor Troll for the second half of his broadcast and confirmed that he had received a single copyright strike from DMA for a video reportedly aired in 2022. Fans of both Jenkins and Frauditor Troll loudly pointed out in Frauditor Troll's chat the hypocrisy of AFA and DMA spending literally hours doing First Amendment audits to protect the freedom of speech when both men were working so hard over the Independence Day celebration to stifle the free speech of their fellow Americans. Frauditor Troll will be doing a live on his Frauditor Troll Classics channel while his main channel is down. This is a developing story.
Well, folks, there you have it. I got a bunch of videos to go back because I somehow did the end credits twice instead of putting subscribe in. Oh, well, it's the first day and I was rushing through it. Tomorrow we're going to have some Chile de Castro news. We're going to have news on Regan Benson as she's still alive, apparently, gloating that she's going to win 2 civil cases against Denver and she's claiming $130,000 off of the settlements. Yeah. Maybe I can sue somebody. I don't know. It's not like my town has any money. We've got like 5,000 people at best. So we'll see. Anyway, we are out. We're close to the 30-minute mark. We're going to do our closing credits and then jump into that very special post-credit scene. Hope you stick around for it and hope to see you tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow we're at our normal time of 6:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by our 8 o'clock. That's 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock where it counts, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific time for our all-star panel, where Gia has ordered us to continue our Crazy Ex-Girlfriend series. So hope you tune into that, because I hope that one takes off so I can make a brand new video opening for that. Anyway, it's time to get out of here, and post-credit scenes coming up.